Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me. Luis Morales here, health fitness specialist with Exos at Autodesk, and this is the afternoon stretch break, first Thursday of the year back in the office. Before we get started, please go ahead and drop anything in the chat that you would like a little bit of extra love or a little bit of extra stretching showed to. Today we can definitely work it into the routine. Based on what we did in the class earlier, I have a nice plan for us to kind of get our shoulders loosened up a little bit. It was a lot of shoulders earlier, and I also learned that shoulders is the number one muscle group that Jazzy likes to work out. So good stuff to know. Go ahead and take a second to drop anything in the chat. We're going to address a whole lot of stuff today. Give you guys a second. Chest, yeah, definitely can do some of that. All right. Okay, so what we're going to start with though is addressing those shoulders. So let's come on down into a nice kind of hands and knees position. What we're going to do is a version of thread the needle here. So we're going to be a little more active with our thread the needle here today. So planting those hands under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. We're going to plant that left hand. Left hand is going to stay where it's at. We're going to use that right hand to reach through the gap in between our left leg and left arm. So I'm twisting towards my left side here, twist that spine, and then we're gonna open up, pull the needle back through and reach that moving right hand up towards the sky, twisting as much as possible and also pushing away from the ground as much as possible. And then we're just gonna slowly kind of move at our own pace and repeat. We wanna keep that left arm nice and straight and allow both our shoulder blades to glide over the back of our rib cage. I'm sure you guys have heard a whole lot of, when it comes to the cueing of the shoulder, it's always down and back, which is great. We definitely need that. But as far as incidental environments go, we definitely need to also bring some attention to the way our shoulder blades glide on our rib cage and how we can improve that relationship between our shoulder blades and our rib cage. All right, last one here, guys. Pulling that arm back through, reaching up for the ceiling, big twist. And then we'll slowly bring that right hand back down, plant that right hand. Let's switch it on over to the other side. So left hand is gonna reach through that gap. Now we're twisting towards the right side. And then pulling that left arm through, opening up towards the ceiling, feeling those shoulder blades glide. Don't forget to breathe while you're at it. Good work, guys. Good work. Make sure we're getting a nice twist in both directions. Still twisting to the right, even though we're doing a bigger twist to the left. All right, we'll make this one the last one. Big reach through, big twist to our right. And then the larger twist out to the left. Nicely done, you guys, nicely done. Okay, staying here in this quadruped position, next one we can get into is the pigeon. So if you're familiar with the pigeon, go ahead and get into it. What I'm gonna do is slide my left leg back and then rotate my right foot kind of under the body here, and then sink back into a nice comfortable pigeon pose, trying to stretch out the posterior capsule of the hip here. For me, it's the right side. Once you find kind of a medium stretch, we're just gonna hang out here for a second, but I'm gonna add something into this one. All right, so once we've found that medium stretch, if you're on your hands or your elbows, it doesn't matter. What we're gonna do is move those hands or elbows, kind of walk them out to the side towards whatever side that you have the leg crunched up under you. So for me, it's the right side. What I'm gonna do is almost side bend to my right, changing the stretch in the posterior capsule of my hip just a little bit. It might feel a little bit different. And let's breathe into it. Big belly breaths. And then let's go ahead and walk those hands or elbows back to the middle. And then you guessed it, we're gonna go all the way back out to the other side. So now I'm walking all the way away from that hip that's crunched up under me that we're stretching the posterior capsule of. This might change your stretch a little bit. It may not. But again, let's breathe into the belly. Nicely done. And then we'll walk those hands or elbows back into the middle. Let's slowly bring ourselves up onto our hands. Bring that foot out from under us and let's switch sides. So sinking back into that opposite pigeon pose now. Whatever side you were doing first, let's switch it over to the other one. Take a moment to find that good stretch for you. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. And then once we find it, let's hang out in the middle, a couple breaths. All right, you guys, let's walk those elbows or hands towards the side of the leg that's rotated under us. For me, it's the left. Finding kind of maybe a new stretch. Breathing into the belly to release that tension. All right, let's walk those elbows or hands all the way out to the other side. Might change your stretch a little bit, may not. Make sure we're staying comfortable. Couple belly breaths in this position, and then we'll get on out of this pigeon pose. All right, nicely done. So let's move those hands or elbows back into the middle, slowly come up onto our hands, shift our weight off of those hips, and we can come back to hands and knees, and then ultimately into a nice tall kneeling position here. So in this tall kneeling position, if you want to grab something to pad the knees up, I know I will. Knees don't love the solid ground. And from here, what we're going to do is get into stretching out that chest. So lacing the fingers behind the back and then letting gravity kind of take hold and pull those interlaced fingers and those hands back down towards the ground, pulling those shoulder blades back. Hand also down towards our back pockets. Now you might start to feel a little bit of stretch in the chest. You can go ahead and exaggerate that by looking up, pulling the shoulder blades back even more. And now we have the opportunity to breathe. Try and take some nice breaths into the chest. Feel that upper rib cage expand. Good job, you guys. One more breath here. And on that exhale, we can release those hands. Let them return to our sides. Bring our gaze back down. And next up, last but not least, let's go ahead and come into a nice standing position. From here, what we can do to further loosen up those shoulder blades and kind of prepare for the rest of our day, sitting at the desk. Hopefully it's not the whole rest of your day, but planting those feet about shoulder width apart, relaxing those arms. And what we're going to do is just some nice backwards shoulder rolls. So try and do your best here to sync up that inhale. So inhaling as we raise the shoulders up towards the ears, letting the shoulders roll over the top and then glide down the back of our rib cage right into our back pockets. Maybe sometimes how we slip our phones into our back pockets, kind of a satisfying feeling from time to time. Let's do the same thing with our shoulder blades here. Good job, you guys. Let's do one more final roll. Try and make it the largest roll so far. And then on that exhale, let those shoulder blades drop. And we can keep them down there on our back. All right, that's all the time I have left for this stretch break. Thank you guys for joining me. Don't forget, if you would like to check out more about Exos, our class schedule, all that good stuff, go ahead and go to our SharePoint. You can also request stretch breaks, group exercise classes, find program information, methodology information, and our coach console links. Highly recommend going on SharePoint. You can also contact us on Slack at #Exos. All right, guys, I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
See you guys.